This video is on how to field strip and clean the Springfield Armory SA-35. This video is meant for total beginners, as if you've never cleaned a gun before. I'll show you step by step on how to do it. To get started, you'll need a few things. CLP, which stands for Cleaner Lubricant Protectant, gun cleaning patches, cotton swabs with an angled tip, powder-free gloves, a cleaning rod with a handle that allows the rod to spin freely, a 9mm size bronze bore brush, a 9mm size jag, a microfiber rag, and I left it off camera, but you also need a nylon brush. And I'll put a link to my website in the show notes below. From there you can find links to all of these products. As of right now, the cheapest place to get them is going to be on Amazon, but if that changes in the future, I'll make sure to update the links on my website. You should always start out with a clear and safe weapon, meaning no ammunition, but of course I'm going to check just to be 100% sure. To do that, press the magazine release button and drop the magazine. Now press the safety lever down. Now keep your finger off the trigger, point it in a safe direction, and work the slide a few times. If any ammunition is inside, it's going to eject at this point. Now I'm going to pull the slide back and engage the safety into this takedown notch here. Now visually and physically inspect the chamber. I can see that there's no magazine and no ammunition here. And I can see that there's nothing in the chamber, so we are 100% clear. This is the slide stop. On the other side of it, there's a button that protrudes out. We're going to press that button and it's going to push the slide stop out. That's the button right there. To make it easy, as I'm pushing on the button on the right side, I'm going to wiggle the slide stop on the left side and it'll come right out. Now disengage the safety from the takedown notch, and it's under spring tension, so slowly pull the slide off. Now remove the recoil spring by compressing it from chamber end to muzzle end and pull it out. Now you can separate the spring from the guide rod. Now remove the barrel. And that's as far as you need to go for a basic field strip and clean. You don't have to clean these parts in any particular order, but today I'm going to start with the barrel. So attach the bronze bore brush to the cleaning rod. Add CLP to the bore brush. I'm only going to push the bore brush through in one direction, from chamber end to muzzle end, because it doesn't make any sense at all to push the dirt out and pull it right back in. Think of it like sweeping the floor. You don't just sweep back and forth because you just spread dust everywhere. You sweep in one general direction, out the door or into a dustpan. So to do this properly, I push the brush through from chamber end to muzzle end. When it gets out the muzzle end, I remove the brush, pull the rod out, put the brush back on the rod, and start the process over again. There's no specific number of times you need to do this. It really depends on how much you've been shooting. In this case, I'm just going to push it through a few times. And then I'll do the same thing with a jag. So I'll put the jag on the cleaning rod. Then I'll wrap a cleaning patch around it and add CLP. So when you push the first patch through, you'll see that it comes out dirty. Just keep pushing patches through until they start to come out clean. This one's not too dirty because it's a brand new gun, but normally it's much dirtier than that. And that looks pretty good. As far as the rest of the barrel, just add CLP to your brush, scrub everything, and wipe it off, and leave a light coat of CLP on it. Normally at this point I would use a bore snake and run it through a couple of times, but like I said, this gun is brand new and I don't think it needs it. But once you've shot your gun and you've cleaned the bore with the brush and the cleaning patches and jag, I highly recommend that you run a bore snake through it at least a couple of times. Now I'm going to clean the recoil spring and guide rod. Add CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing in between the coils. I'll use the microfiber rag to wipe off the excess CLP. Now I'll add more CLP to the brush and start cleaning the guide rod. I'm going to scrub it really well, wipe it down, and add a light coat of CLP to it. I'm going to do the same thing with a takedown lever. Add CLP to the brush, scrub it, wipe it down, and remember to leave a light coat of CLP on it. Now let's clean the slide. Add CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing all surfaces, inside and out. I'm going to use the small end of the nylon brush to get in between the rails. This is the breech face. You want to be careful not to leak CLP down into that hole that the firing pin comes out of. So go very light with the CLP when you're cleaning this area. And this little piece here is the extractor. Use the small end of the nylon brush to clean it. When I'm finished scrubbing everything with a nylon brush, I'm going to add CLP to a cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. I'm going to clean everything in the slide well, but I'm going to pay particular attention to the rails. When you run the cotton swab through the rails, you'll see that it comes out dirty. Just keep running cotton swabs through the rails until they start to come out clean. When you're done with the cotton swab, wipe off all the excess CLP. Add a light coat of CLP to all surfaces and a medium coat of CLP to the rails and anything else that shows signs of metal on metal wear. Now let's start on the frame. Add CLP to the nylon brush and start scrubbing all surfaces, including the grips. But don't worry, we're not going to leave the grips wet or slippery or anything like that. We're going to make sure to clean all the CLP off of the stippling before we're done. I'm just going to wrap the microfiber rag around the nylon brush to get the excess CLP from the inside of the magazine well. I'm going to continue wiping off all the excess CLP, then I'm going to add fresh CLP to a cotton swab and go through it in fine detail. After you're done with the cotton swab, add a light coat of CLP to all metal surfaces and a medium coat of CLP to the rails and anything else that shows signs of metal on metal wear. And to get the CLP off of the grips, just wrap the rag around it and squeeze. Now I'm going to clean the magazine. It's not necessary to disassemble it every time you clean it, unless you dropped it in mud, dirt, or sand or something like that. Today I'm just going to clean it with CLP and wipe it down. Just be careful not to leak CLP down into these witness holes right here, or down into the follower here. You want to leave the inside of the magazine completely dry. If you do need to disassemble the magazine, it's pretty easy. I don't think you need a video to show you how you do it. All you do is take a punch or a small screwdriver, press that button down. As you're holding the button down, the base plate slides off, the spring comes out, the follower comes out. Just clean everything with CLP, wipe it dry, put it together the same way it came out, and that's all you need to do really. Okay, let's reassemble. Insert the guide rod into the recoil spring. Now take the slide, insert the barrel into the slide. Now insert the recoil spring muzzle end first. Compress the spring from chamber end to muzzle end, and I'll show you a close-up of what it's supposed to look like. So this little piece on the guide rod is supposed to be facing down. As you're looking at the side of the slide, the part that meets up with the barrel lug should look just like this. So just take your time as you're compressing the spring because it may try to kink up on you. And once again, when properly installed, it's going to look exactly like this. Now match up the rails on the slide with the rails on the frame and guide the slide back on. Now you're going to match up the takedown notch with a safety lever. Engage the safety. Now reinsert the slide stop. And you'll see that it goes in a lot easier than it came out. Now you can drop the safety and let the slide go home. Let's do a function check. Pull the trigger, hold it down. Now work the slide, release the trigger. You should hear it reset. Now pull the trigger again, the hammer should drop. If it did, you're good. That means you put everything back together properly. Now insert an empty magazine and pull the slide back. It should lock back on its own. If it did, you're good to go. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, subscribe to my channel and give me a shout out in the comments. Thanks for watching.